Right, well, for more on all these developments, joining me in the studio, defense expert Uday Bhaskar. Thank you so much for coming in. As you heard Mr. Chidambaram saying they're worried about the spillover effect on India. Also, we've heard statements coming in from Pakistan. Rahman Malik talking about the foreign hand that can't be ruled out. Is there sort of an attempt to deflect responsibility here?
Well, clearly, I think Mr. Malik's statement, which we heard, is an attempt to gain as much political mileage as would be possible within the current context of domestic politics in Pakistan. We are aware that Mr. Zardari and Mr. Nawaz Sharif are now locked in a do-or-die battle. There is a major protest coming up next week. But I just want to say one thing, Gargi. I was quite struck by the way in which Mr. Malik emphasized the fact that he would not overrule, quote-unquote, foreign hand. Now, any investigation, as we often say, that you consider every possibility, however unlikely. The whole spectrum, Alpha to Zulu, is the standard way in which you proceed with an investigation. I do wish Mr. Malik had added that the probability of a foreign hand, whether it's the LTTE, as General Hamid Gul has suggested, or for that matter the RAW, as some of the others have indicated, is a very, very low probability. If the finger of suspicion does point in any direction and one is able to assign a higher level of probability, it is a domestic group, and some of the more discerning Pakistani papers are talking
They're already talking about their own homegrown terrorists.
The Lashkar-e-Taiba is one, the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi. And one item which seems to have been missed in yesterday's coverage of the cricket team was that on the same day, the Marriott Hotel attack that took place in September 2008, Al-Qaeda has actually owned up responsibility in a communication that they had sent to the Saudi embassy in Islamabad. Now, this got glossed over, but why I'm drawing attention to it, if you recollect in September, we had the same kind of what I would call as an almost Pavlovian response in Pakistan. Marriott happened, it's the foreign hand, it's India.
Right.
Now, in all fairness, one must concede that both India and Pakistan have gone through this kind of pattern of pointing fingers. More recently, I think there is greater restraint in India, but the evidence, which I'm sure will be put together, is going to point towards this domestic, sort of involvement.
Right.
And that is really the whole core of the question. What is the degree to which the Pakistani establishment is supporting? Now, over the last 1 hour, we heard one more input that the authorities had information. They had actionable intelligence which talked about the Sri Lankan cricket team. If so, why didn't they act? I mean, that's a pretty
failure
serious
really
question.
of intelligence there, and security failure, big breach there. Well, of course, in the days to come, this story will develop further, and hopefully we will be closer to knowing who was responsible. Thank you. There's so much for coming in for this. Well.